It's your girl coming at you with another video. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while. It's been a while since I have done a main content video. As you guys know, at least the ones who have been following me, I have been uploading all throughout quarantine. So if you have not seen any of my quarantine videos, be sure to check them out. But anyway, it's just been a little bit. Okay, so I don't typically do story time videos. I think I only have like one other story time from like 5 years ago. And Lord knows what I was telling you a lot of story about. But anyway, I do have a story that I said I will let some time pass before I ever talk about it on YouTube, if I ever make the decision to do so, which I have. So let's do it. I also still have some of the conversations in my Instagram DMs. But for privacy reasons, obviously, I'm going to block out the name and the Instagram profile pic, as well as certain parts of the conversation, because you lot can't know everything, but you'll know a good bit. All right, so look, grab your pillow, grab your snack. We're about to have a little story time. All right, lots. So this story goes back to 2017. I was kind of just out of a relationship. Well, a few months out of a relationship. And I wasn't looking for any kind of a relationship. I was living my life and having fun while doing it. Like, I was enjoying being single. Now let's rewind real quick to the years that I was in school. I did have a friend, and we'll name him Jay. Jay and I didn't go to the same school. We just went to the same church and we were friends. That's it. Plus I was in a relationship at the time and he respected that, so you know, we were all friends. It was cool. Fast forward to 2017. Now this is mid-summerish, I guess. It's been so long, you lot. I can't remember everything exactly, but I want to say it was definitely like midsummer. So Jay hits me up through text message, just saying hey, as he normally would every so often. So I didn't think anything of it. So we're talking, just general talk, and Jay proceeds to tell me that he's interested in me. Now, like I said previously, I wasn't looking to be in any kind of a relationship. I just wasn't. The fact that Jay expressed this interest, it kind of caught me off guard. On top of the fact that I had never really looked at Jay like that. Not that he wasn't attractive, it's just that I purely looked at him as just a friend, even after being out of a relationship. Anyway, I told Jay that, and he knew that I had just gotten out of a relationship, but I wouldn't mind taking it slow with him, and he completely understood, and I appreciated that. Cool. A couple of months passed, and you know, Jay and I were talking basically every day. Every now and then it would be a Skype call. Sometimes it would just be text, because he worked. Oh, let me mention this, right? Jay does not live here in Bermuda. He resides in the US, so it was a long distance type of situation going on. It was cool. Like, it kind of just felt the same, like we were just friends. Just this time, instead of talking every now and then, we were talking every day, but it was cool. I will say though that I started to pick up this like chaser method. You know how usually it's the guy that should be doing the chasing, but I kind of picked up this thing where Jay wanted me to be chasing him, just from different conversations that we had and the different things that he would say. But it was just a subtle little thing that I noticed, but I didn't put any kind of energy into it, I guess. All right, so let's fast forward to like October time, right? I had made the decision that I was going to travel for New Year's out to where Jay lives, you know, to be with him for New Year's, something different. This is hard. It's hard to tell the story because like I don't want to give away who the person is. You know, I don't know who watches my videos, but I'm trying to keep this person as anonymous as possible. So anyway, when I purchased the plane tickets, I had sent a screenshot to Jay, you know, as a surprise. Oh look, I'm traveling to where you are for New Year's. And you know, he was surprised and happy, blah blah blah. So he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have flowers for you and a sun, like I'm excited type of thing, you know. As the days draw closer to when I'm supposed to travel, you know, we're just really looking forward to seeing each other, because this is the first time that we would have seen each other in some years. It was definitely a hot minute. Before I forget this detail so that it makes sense to you guys, the screenshot that I sent to Jay of, you know, when I purchased my plane ticket, it didn't include the date of when I would be arriving, right? So I had told him, let's say I told him I'm arriving December 29th, when really I was actually arriving a day early, the 28th, just because I wanted to surprise him. Fast forward after Christmas, after Boxing Day, now it's the 28th of December, right? Now this is the day that I'm leaving. I'm flying out to him. I get there, I touched on in Virginia, and I go on Snapchat, and you know how in every city there's like a filter for that specific city. So I take a picture using the filter of Virginia, I send it to Jay. Now, my Bermudians and all other international people, you know that we rely heavily on Wi-Fi unless we get a SIM card when we travel, right? So obviously, after I sent the message, I had disconnected from Wi-Fi because I had to travel from the airport to my hotel. So anyway, I had one of my very good friends pick me up from the airport and take me to my hotel. Get to the hotel, I get settled in, and I connect to the Wi-Fi, and I get all of these, just a heap of messages from Jay, right? Before I actually open them, I'm smiling because I'm like, oh yeah, like he's so surprised, he's probably so happy, you know, thoughts like that. Wow. I open the messages, you lot, and this boy is vax, like proper vax. He was literally sending me messages saying things along the lines of, yo, why are you here? I wanted to surprise you. Now I'm gonna throw this poster and these flowers in the trash. I worked so hard on it. Like, he was vexed that I showed up a day early and he wasn't able to meet me at the airport. So I'm just looking at these messages like, well, that backfired. I can't really remember too much of how that conversation went, but anyway, after he had calmed down, we had made plans to link. If it wasn't the next day, it was the day after. We had made plans to meet in the evening for what I thought was just like a link up, just to, you know, we're finally seeing each other type of thing. But to him, it was a date. Cool. Now, the good thing, right, let me just say, where I was staying in the area of where my school is. So I still had friends that were still living there, and so I was able to link up with them, and thank God, and I will get to the reason why I thank God. Fast forward to the evening, Jay and I are going on our date. He picks me up from my hotel. First, he wanted to go get a haircut, which I didn't mind because it was literally in and out. And then we went to, I think it was a steakhouse. Here's just a quick little disclaimer, right? I am the type of person, when I am around you for the first time, if I don't know you, if I feel uncomfortable, I am very quiet, I'm very to myself, I'm very reserved. Other than that, once I'm comfortable, I am the exact opposite. I'm very loud and outgoing. I'm a jokester, you know. I like to laugh, I like to make people laugh. That's who I am. So when Jay and I link up and we go to the restaurant, I'm a little quiet, you know, we're still talking, but it's not as flowy as it could be if I had been around him as often. Does that make sense? You know, I had been talking to him through text for a couple of years. So, you know, texting someone and sitting in their presence and talking is two completely different ball games. So anyway, I'm not as talkative as I usually would be with someone who I'm constantly around. But nevertheless, we're talking and eating, and you know, it was a chill, cool type of night. Wow. As we were talking, right, now Jay has his phone on the table face up. I noticed that his phone lights up. Now when someone's phone lights up, sometimes you can't help, you know, your eyes automatically just draw to it. It's not that you're trying to be pokey, your eyes just happen to, you know. His phone lights up because someone is calling him, and I see the contact name wifey with all these like heart emojis, heart eyes, all that, right? Now I knew that Jay was not married. I knew that much for sure. But obviously he was checking somebody else while he was checking me. Now, I can't speak for other women. I can only speak for myself. I'm not the type of girl where you could be checking me and other women. If you're trying to decide between me and other women or another woman, choose them or choose her. I'm out. I'm gonna make it a little easier for you, cause I'm out. I ain't, that's just me. I just ain't about that. I'm not. Anyway, Jay ends up answering the phone and he's keeping the conversation, at least his side of the conversation, very basic. Yeah, cool. Cool. And I'm just sitting there eating my meal, whatever it was, cool. He hangs up the phone. Now you lot, let me just say this. I know I ain't psyching out. I saw that screen. I know what the frick it said. Jay hangs up his phone, puts it down, and he proceeds to say, yo, my mama's always calling me. Anyway, he goes on talking right now. At this time, I don't know what he's saying because I'm in my head having a conversation with myself. Now I'm like, now I know that screen said wifey. Then I'm thinking, because I knew Jay was really close with his mom. I'm like, does this guy have his mom in his phone as wifey? I said, it can't be. I said, ain't no one that close to the mama. So I'm like, nah, this guy's, he's talking to another chick. Now, meanwhile, right, I can't act too crazy, right? Because you lot, I am crazy, and those who have felt it and who feel it, Patrick, know it. I can't act too crazy because Jay and I are not in a relationship. You know, we're literally just trying to still feel this thing out. At least I thought we were. So I didn't really react to it. I mean, you know, he's trying to pull this excuse that his mama called him, whatever. I didn't pay any attention to it. And the night just went on. Jay and I ended up hanging out just for a little bit after dinner. He actually had to go back home because he was making early the next day. Here's the thing. This trip was like it was a solid 10-day trip, right? And our date was on like the second day, right? And then, you know, with New Year's, and then I was staying a couple of days after New Year's. It was a pretty lengthy trip. I figured that we were going to be linking up a lot, doing whatever together, hanging out type of thing. I planned it pretty long on purpose for that reason. Jay wasn't really coming around as often as I thought he would, right? And the first couple of days, I didn't really worry about it. I knew certain days he had things to do and that I wouldn't be able to see him. Cool. Another reason why I planned the trip as long as it was. And this is why I thank God that I was in a place where my friends are, because I was able to at least hang out with them, you know? So shortly after New Year's, right, there was a storm that was coming. And for all of my people of Virginia, you know, Virginia will shut down and cancel everything for an inch of snow. You gotta kind of prepare for it like a hurricane, get your snacks and food, because you're about to be shut in for however long the snow is about to be around. So now this is like the early afternoon before the snowstorm is about to come, right? So I hit up Jay and I'm like, yo, do you want to come to the hotel and hang her for the duration of the snowstorm, however long that was gonna be? So he was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a plan type of thing. Hours and hours and hours going by. Now it's like going into the evening and I'm like, yo, are you still coming? I don't even want to say the excuse that he said, but I don't care. He said that he had to do something for these older women, like the elderly women. So I was like, all right, cool. Snowstorm's coming. Didn't read too much into it. Cool. Another hour goes by and I'm like, yo, are you done? Are you making your way? He comes back and basically he's just giving me all these excuses saying, these guys are taking so long, doesn't look like I'm gonna make it, right. So I'm like, snowstorm comes and it goes and I'm still trying to see Jay, but it's like it's not even like he basically didn't want to come see me. I don't know if it was because of the length of the drive, I don't know. But anyway, I end up texting him and I tell him, like, I fly out here to see you and I've only seen you once. Like I said, I don't really remember the conversation because it was so long ago and I don't have it in my phone anymore. We kind of sort of had an argument because I basically just told him I feel like I'm gonna beg you to come hang out and you're nowhere to be found. He basically wanted me to like chase him and I'm just like, Why does it have to be this thing like where I'm gonna borderline beg you to come hang out? That's a turn off for me, because number one, I beg for nothing. Well, the most I do is beg people for the food. Facts. We had that conversation. Let's say there was about maybe 3 days left of my trip. We talked not once, which, I mean, you know, whatever. I end up flying back home, and when I landed home, I had taken a nap and everything, because flights out of Virginia to Bermuda are very early, right? And so you're getting her early. I wake up and I see a message from him. Apparently he had snuck in a little picture of me while we were at dinner, and he must have sent like a heart next to it or whatever, and I'm just like, oh, haha. I made the decision to just end it with Jay. Basically, I told him, you know, I just feel like we have different views on relationships, but I would still like to continue to be his friend, and blah, 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 blah. He ended up coming back saying thanks for the opportunity with the little praying hand emoji, whatever, or something like that, something simple. Like, he didn't say much. Now, remember, this is 2018 now, right? I bought in New Year's out there, New Year's 2018. So it's 2018. So unfortunately, January 12th, my family had gone through a death and everything. And so I think he ended up, no, I ended up texting him just as a friend, just, you know, to have someone to talk to. And it was cool. Now, here's where we have the receipts, but let me just give me some time to get the conversation, because the conversation is like way at the bottom. All right, so fast forward to summer 2018. I'm looking at my DMs with him, right? Because now, instead of texting each other, he would just DM me on Instagram. He would, you know, comment on my carnival posts, comment on my, you know, just whatever I would post on my Instagram stories. He would, you know, send a comment. He would send all these hearts to selfies. Bless his soul. So, okay, so that was summer 2018. Now, fast forward to November 2018. I had posted a video of me just, you know, playing with my hair type of thing. So he commented saying, your hair is growing back fast. And anyway, we were just talking like it's nothing, that's boring. Let me get to the juicy part of this conversation. Let me move over so you lot could see. We were just having a basic conversation, and he had ended up saying something about a wedding ring and some other things that I don't want to show because it's a little personal to him, so just gonna leave that out. He had said something about a ring, and then saying something like, you know, you could have been had a ring but you cut me off. And I'm just like, you know, you're not serious right now type of thing. So anyway, we'll start from where I said boy, and then he said, what about you? But that was to a previous message up for others. So anyway, I said, you're not serious, and he said, I'm dead serious. Now these are two conversations happening at once, so it's a little chippy choppy. Yeah, so he's talking about you can coach and teach dance. Anyway, we're talking about that. He's saying he loves coaching, rah, 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 rah. So I said, I can tell that's dope. Oh, Lord. Okay. Let me fast forward. So anyway. All right, so he goes back. So anyway, Jay goes back to this whole ring thing, and he's like, got a real one in real life for you to when you're ready to come back. I said, boy, you didn't even want me. So he says, that's where you're all wrong. I was in love with you. Okay. Just didn't want to seem weird and say that with it being such short time. And when you came, I didn't even know how to act, what to say. It was like a dream come true. Literally was speechless. Like me and you was actually on a date. I don't know. I honestly froze. And plus I had so much feelings and emotions for you. I didn't want it to come out and you get scared and I push you away. So I said, I'll never knock a person for how they feel, but I will say it's very hard to believe. But with you explaining all this, it makes sense now. I grew to like you and I felt like I was chasing you, which was exhausting. And then I go out to VA a day earlier and I felt like I was being punished for surprising you. Then I only saw you that once. We went to dinner and was borderline almost begging you to come stay with me at the hotel. Then after the last conversation, I never heard from you until I returned home, and I was like, this guy doesn't want me, so I ended it before my heart got too invested. It sucked, but I figured you just wanted to be friends or someone else had your interest. I just didn't know what was happening. So he says, but you're not an emotional, affectionate type person really, and I am. So it was hard adjusting, so I didn't really know if you liked me, and I wasn't mad at you. Oh Lord. That's a run-on sentence. So I didn't really know if you liked me, and I wasn't mad you came early, but I really wanted to be there waiting. I had roses and stuff and a cute little sign I made, but all you kept talking about was seeing your friends, so I really didn't know if you really wanted to see me. Now that's some bull crap, because he had never come to me with any plans of seeing each other, and every time I went to him with plans of seeing each other, it was like he was too busy. So I mean, what else am I supposed to do? Just sit there and look at the walls? I said, I'm not your average emotional female. Everybody who knows me can agree on that, lol. But I'm very touchy-feely and affectionate. I wasn't that way with you because it was our first time seeing each other in some years. So just like how you didn't want to dump all your feelings on me, I wouldn't bombard you with all of that. We were only on level 1, but as time would have moved on, you would have got affection overload. But anyway, I was barely hearing from you and was trying, but I don't know. I guess we weren't really getting through to each other. And I'm being nice with that answer, just saying. So he said, yeah, we may have been on level 1 in your eyes, but to me, we were far beyond. Maybe because ever since I first met you and saw you, I wanted you and always said, if I got the chance of marrying her when you... Lord, no punctuation? When you came, I was expecting all the love and affection we joked and talked about on the phone, kissing and cuddling. So I said, all things take time, we would have got there. So he said, in my little fantasy world, I thought we were already there, but we weren't just because I was liking you from the first time I met you. Doesn't mean you weren't liking me too. Lord have mercy. And so when you told me you was ending it, that's why I ain't respond. Felt like my heart was ripped away. So I said, you responded saying, thanks for the opportunity. That's what he said. Then I said, I assumed you were fine. So he said, that's all I could say at the moment. That's not really responding. Then what is it? Really, my life felt like it had ended. So I just completely went ghost and tried to heal and move on, but couldn't. So I said maybe, but it was a response I had to work off of. Okay. I noticed that when I'm like speaking truth, Jay, all he says is okay. But anyway, he said, but I didn't know what to say. I didn't have the words to say it. So I said, which is fine. I understand where you're coming from. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my story time. I, to this day, have not heard from Jay. You didn't get me because I wouldn't play a little game, so I laughed, and now you're trying to claim that you were in love with me. Please save it. That's one thing that I will always love about myself, especially when it will come to relationships. I don't take no nonsense, man. Like, all you gotta do is show me one time and I'm out. I may have lost him and the friendship, but just here's what it is. He'll be alright. But ladies, we don't chase. We don't. Okay? We lure. Okay? We draw them in. We do not chase. Let the man do what a man does and let him come to you. You're gonna come to me. I ain't going to you. You're gonna come to me. You're gonna find me. Okay? But anyway, guys, that concludes my story time. I hope it wasn't boring. I hope it was some kind of entertaining. Story times be making me feel some kind of way because I don't know if this story is boring or what. But anyway, we're just gonna go on a whim here. Do not forget to add me on my social media platforms, Twitter and Instagram at Rhyan Ciarra, where I post on a daily basis. I love you guys and stay tuned for the next video. Love ya!